Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel is the Finding Value Finance channel. I've got Sow and Reap Capital, Scott, with me today. So if you want to go check out his channel, check out Sow and Reap Capital. We're going to talk uranium here. We're going to do some charting. I know that I always chart it on a daily basis, but you know what? It's better to get a second opinion. And we've got Scott over here. He's doing some charting. I'd like to get him on here to show you guys what his thoughts are on the uranium sector, because it's looking pretty good in my opinion. I think we're getting real close. I think we may still have one little, I don't know, whatever you call it, pattern left to bounce. But what's your opinion, Scott? What do you see?
Yeah, no, it's looking really good in my opinion. So I think we're in most of the stocks that I'm looking at, we are reaching pretty much the major key support levels. So I was even this morning, I was pretty tempted to sell some more of my silver to get some more uranium stocks. But yeah, I mean, just starting off with the leader, of course, CCJ, so Chemical Corporation. So this is a 200-day moving average. As you can see, these have been accumulation zones. And I've always talked about how I look for stocks to come down to 200-day moving average for additional accumulation in the early stages of the bull market. So yeah, you've hit it here. I mean, you've had a slight pierce, but it's been very supportive level. Like you've hit it here, pierced slightly below and you ran up, pierced slightly below and you ran up. And so where we are at right now with CCJ is we've just hit it here. We've pierced slightly below, and maybe we'll move. Maybe we'll we'll pierce a little bit more and then run up. But this is starting to look very attractive from an entry point of view. And you've got PDN. So PDN is obviously another leader listed on the Australian Stock Exchange. This is not financial advice, by the way. But what you see here on PDN, you've got this beautiful looking straight line going through. This is like almost a perfect line going across here. So you start from here, which is the start line here, and then you've hit it here, and now you're just sitting right on support. So it looks like, to me, it's like a very good accumulation zone right now. And so other charts that I've been talking about with Andy, just personally, have been EL8. And I did make a few posts around, how I think for EL8, 50 to 55 cents might be a very attractive accumulation zone, and we're sitting on it right now. So you've got this huge support going up here, as you can see this line going across, and you've got a bunch of support sitting here, just because of the amount of, I guess, support and resistance that it's experienced in the past couple of months. So I feel like this area here is a pretty good accumulation zone. And what you can see also here is a big head and shoulder pattern as well. So you can see inverse head and shoulder. So you can see that it's forming a very nice looking inverse head and shoulder pattern here, which is bullish. And then another one that we've talked about, this is not financial advice, but just purely looking at the technical perspective, 92 energy. So Andy and I've been talking about this as well, how we think here, just line going across, given that it's bounced off here, you had a bunch of resistance here, a support, resistance, and then now we're coming down. So I've been tweeting that I think for 92 energy, 62 cents seems like to be a very good accumulation zone as well. And we've just hit that today. So I feel like a lot of these stocks, like even if you look at some of the bigger names listed on the New York Stock Exchange, we are just above support of this long-term trend. And yeah, this looks like it's a pretty good accumulation zone once again. So I feel like so many, I can go on and on with the stocks, and U.UN looks really good as well. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry, I'll just type it in.
So some of them I saw, they still have some downward momentum going into that support line. So we could still see a little bit below that line, maybe with a wick at the bottom. Some of them had wicks at the bottom, which means it's a reversal hammer candlestick pattern.
Yes.
The other ones look like they still had some momentum, like I think it was Paladin or one or two of them, but it's right at that support area. And if you guys want a low risk entry point, you have to wait for the momentum to turn back up and then buy into strength. That one has a little bit of momentum coming into that support. If you're aggressive as heck and you want to do your cost averaging in real slow, then you could buy it and try to time it off these support levels, because that's all you can really do is you just buy off the support level.
Yes.
and hope that the support level holds. If it doesn't hold, then you cost average again at another support level below it. That's the way right. that I enter the companies. And again, that's right. not advice or anything. But what's that?
That's exactly what I do. I start scaling in at these type of levels. So I don't go all in when I buy off these key support levels. I start scaling in. If I do see a bit of a bottoming pattern, like going sideways for a bit, or it might, in a lot of the cases, you will see like these double bottoms form as well. So you might pop up a little bit, you wait for another pullback, and then you might put in like a double bottom, and then it will start running. Same with this, right? So you put in like a little tiny double bottom, and then you start running. It's very normal to see like these type of bottoming patterns. So going basing for a little bit and going sideways for a little bit, or you see a pop up and then, it forming a double bottom. So yeah, this is kind of like the scaling zone in zone area. So yeah, agree with you. And then when you look at U.U,
there's another pattern on Paladin if you want to know.
Yeah. Okay. yeah. Let's go for it.
There's usually 3 humps to a consolidation. The first hump's a sharp kind of spike that comes down. That's where your first rate hike is. That's your first hump. Then you get like a head and shoulders type pattern. That's the second hump. And then the third hump is usually just one big loop, which we have. Yep. So I think we're getting really, really close.
It does look very similar to this, doesn't it, Andy?
Yeah, the patterns are similar. They're not exactly the same, but they are very, very similar in the way that they set these patterns up. So
and another thing that I see is like it's squeezing up. It's squeezing up into this pattern, right? So that's one. And then another one on top of that is I see a bullish flag. So if you draw it up like that, that's like a pretty good looking bull flag. So I think the charts look really good on Paladin Energy right now. Not financial advice, but the chart looks good in my opinion. And if we go back to U.UN, which is probably one of the most important chart here. This is, I only saw this just this morning. I was looking at this chart. I'm like staring into this chart and going, this is a pretty clean parallel channel, except for this pop-up here. So I feel like you've got confluence of support coming in. So you've got this parallel channel. So you've got this upward trend going in. And then also you've got this key level of resistance that we saw back from here. So you've got confluence support, which means it's a stronger support, generally speaking, when you look at it from a technical lens. So yeah, all the uranium charts, it looks like we're sitting just above support. And yeah, it's probably a good place to be looking at adding to your positions if you've got extra cash.
Yeah, you want to find where you've got multiple support levels, horizontal, vertical, or I should say at a grade, depending on where you hit all the lines on that support.
Yes, and moving averages as well. If it's coming in, then yeah, that's also supportive as well.
Yeah, so when you go to buy these things, in my opinion, you don't wait for a breakout per se. What I do is I try to time it off of the support levels. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's just kind of what happens. And it's why you cost average in. You cost average in, sometimes it breaks down, then you wait for another support level and for it to turn back up, and then you buy it again.
Yep. No, that's exactly what I do. Yep, you just slowly add in, slowly sprinkle in, and yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we've got.
Not the time to be selling, I don't think.
It was just a quick one that we wanted to do for uranium, showing kind of some of these major companies and some of the companies that look kind of good. And that's all we've got. So thanks for coming on, Scott. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And we'll
thank you.
We'll catch you next time.
Sorry, can I just share this?
Oh yeah,
I know it's a little bit late in the piece, but yeah. So this is Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So yeah, I just focus on today and just making sure I enjoy every single day of my life, because life is really short. Just wanted to share that. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.